Kannst du genauso sagen auf Englisch, du, what the fuck? Soll ich das Intro sagen, willst du das Intro sagen?
Machen wir da schnell ein bisschen Place on Feet.
Ja, ist schon
All ciao people! So here's to one of our podcast episodes where we wrote down an intro and none of us can actually speak it out of heart because when we wrote it down it was like, yes, that's it. Now, can I say it by heart? No, I can't. So
No.
please forgive us. We will just read it down and
I can try it out of my head.
yeah,
I
try
can try
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi guys and welcome to the Boundary Talk. This is our podcast where you can learn how to improve the art of your boundaries. So you can protect your energy, you can protect your time and live a fulfillment and a life that really matters to you and is true to your values.
Beautiful.
Let's fucking start with the episode.
Damn. Yes. No, I kind of still want to read it down because maybe we will just cut it out for future references. By the way, will we do some cuts or will this be like uncut? What's our style? Uncut or cut?
Maybe uncut.
Okay. That's kind
Maybe
of fun.
cut. Maybe cut for the intro.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the rest uncut.
So
When we start with the episode.
Yeah.
So let's dive into it.
yeah, let's okay, perfect. I want to read it.
You want to say it out
Yeah,
loud?
I want to say because I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
You wrote it down so perfectly, and I was like, "Damn, you really hit the nail." Hello, this is the podcast where we help you master the art of boundaries, so you can protect your energy, build healthier relationships, and live a life truer to yourself. Man, that sounds so great.
That's so great, man.
That sounds so great.
I was so inspired when I wrote it.
I was like, oh yes, oh my god, yes,
Yeah,
that's
so-
exactly what I want to hear when I listen to the podcast myself. So yeah, thanks.
So you want to know what's the topic about today?
Yeah.
About our
Yeah.
first episode, second episode.
Yeah, but the first that we only talk together too,
Exactly.
because one of our partners is flying around the world,
Gone.
out of these
Gone.
boundaries at least.
Gone.
Yeah. So what's the topic
So
for today?
the topic today is what boundaries really are. What are these boundaries
Ooh.
we talk all the time about?
Spicy.
What are these? Everybody knows, but nobody
Yeah.
knows really what are boundaries.
Yeah.
So what's your input first of all? Your first thought when you hear the topic? What's your experience about that? About this question? What boundaries really are?
Well, it really all depends on from what standpoint, vantage point I am looking at boundaries. Because if I am a nation, a country, the boundaries of my country is basically the borders, right?
Aren't they frontiers?
Well, there's different words for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, but if I am like a government, the boundaries we got is like our borders. But I'm not a country right now.
Not really. No.
So that's not what we're talking
You're a
about.
person, right? So
I'm not a person. I wouldn't identify as a person. No, that is one of my boundaries, how I look at myself. But yeah, let's dive into it. What is a boundary for me? A boundary for me is, I'd say, a way how I can respect myself when I go through this world, the way I experience it, the way I communicate, the way I let people communicate with me, the way I treat and live and embody my own values. That's all under the house or the roof of boundaries for me. So let's say one of my main boundaries or main values, I'd say, is integrity. So when I say I want to do this and I will do this, when I don't respect myself, I basically overstep my own boundaries. And how does that make me feel? Not good.
So what are boundaries to you?
So a boundary to me is basically a self-imposed limitation to respect myself, to have more loving, more respecting relationships with friends, with my work, with my time, my money, and the way I just move through this world. That's what boundaries are to me.
Wow.
And the moment I started to make this deep dive with you, and now it's like over 7, 8, 9 months ago that we started with this,
Already?
right? Yes, man. Time is
For
just
real?
time is flying.
Crazy.
So since we started with this deep dive, my relationship to my own boundaries has grown in a positive way. Because before that, I knew I had boundaries, but I never really communicated them. So people overstepped my boundaries over and over again, and I had no problem of communicating I don't like that, but I also didn't know how, and so it just happened over and over again. And since we did that deep dive, I finally started to really communicate my boundaries to my friends, to my partners, and even to myself, because now I am respecting myself much more. My integrity level has risen, because whenever I wouldn't do what I intended to do, I would hurt myself, I would hurt my integrity, I would hurt my values, and that just made me feel worse. And then what happened? My drive, my motivation, it just sunk down into the basement of the building, and I really don't want to experience that anymore. So since I'm finally respecting my own boundaries and I'm communicating these, I'd say I'm more successful, I'm happier, I'm way more productive, and the relationships I have, they are in a much more respectional. Is that even a word?
Yeah, respected way of.
Yeah, in a respected way, and I really love that. And now I just want to throw that question back to you. What is a boundary for you, and what does it mean to you? What did it change in your life?
I would say you already said it, because it's protecting my energy, first of all, because when I'm aligned with my values, when I'm really make the decision consciously aware that here's the boundary, there I say no, I protect my energy because I want to do something or not. Maybe, for example, when a friend asks me to move in another city or something, and I don't have time. Maybe I got something scheduled, I want to work on my goals for the future. Then I say yes, then it's like no, then I do the help for a friend to move just to help,
Yeah.
not because I really want it. Because when I'm over there now, I would think the whole time, I would have to do this, I would like to do that, but I'm there with my friend.
So
Right.
you're not really present when you're over there, when you
Exactly.
just say yes so that you said yes, that you could help.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And that's the feeling I get when I'm crossing my boundaries. So when I define it and hold my boundaries and communicate it the right way, I'm really respecting my energy and my time. So I'm also present in the moment when I'm doing something. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, but when I make the decision, I'm present.
Wow.
When I'm not doing the decision and just go with the flow, but in a negative way, in a negative spiral way, then I'm just anywhere, but not in the moment. And the only thing that really matters in our life is just the moment.
Yeah.
And
I
when
agree.
it's about the boundaries, it's bam, it's that.
Wow.
It's really that, yeah.
Now, when you're telling me your story, a picture just came to my mind, which I would love to share with you, because basically that's the picture that I am working with myself on. So I feel the same way like you. And if I had to describe this whole situation of what is a boundary and what it's not to you in a picture, I'd say a boundary is like being a laser. You know, a laser is all of your light. It is fully present on one specific thing that you decided to respect yourself.
Exactly.
To do so. So you said, I will decide to do that because that's inside my boundaries, how I want to respect myself. That's the laser. And if you're just going with the flow and you're not treating your boundaries right, your light is diffused. It just goes a little bit there, it goes a little bit there, it
Exactly.
goes a little bit there. But do you really feel all right?
No.
Well, I don't.
Obviously not.
Obviously
Nobody
not.
does, if you're aware of
No.
it or not.
No, but before I was aware, I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
Before I was,
Obviously.
yeah, before I wasn't aware about that whole topic, I wasn't aware that this diffused light, me being a diffused light, was what was causing the feeling of not being happy with the moment.
Mhm.
I was fully present all the time, but I wasn't happy with the moment all the time. I don't have to be happy all the time, you know, it's not the expectations that I put on myself.
Mhm.
But still, now that at least for myself, I found the cause why it is like that. And when I am like a laser, I respect my own boundaries. I treat myself the way how I would treat others too, like respectfully, loving. You know, when someone communicates his boundary with me, for an example, you, because we are really, how do we say,
Open to each other,
yeah,
respectfully.
yeah, we are really open to each other and we communicate now our boundaries to each other.
Yeah.
And for me, that's one of the best practices I could ever have.
Yeah, true.
Having a boundary accountability partner, which is one of the tools that we give the people that work with our boundary book.
The boundary body.
Yeah, the boundary body. And since we do that, it's also much easier for me to communicate my boundaries to my other friends, to partners, to whatever I do, and also to myself, and to respect myself and to feel respected. And this just makes a friendship so much more valuable to me.
Yeah, I swear. I swear. You said before that you get healthier and more connected relationships when you hold your boundaries and when you decided to live it, right? But most of the people, and I probably think a lot of people who's listening or visit us, when I can say it, they would say boundaries are like walls. They bricks stacks up, and they're like, I say no to this, and they're getting like,
Defensive.
yeah, exactly. But it's
The opposite, man.
it's exactly the opposite. It's more like a filter.
Yeah.
It's like a filter because
A filter with a door or a wall with a door. Yes, there is
Yeah.
walls, and the walls are the boundaries you decide on having. But to communicate that boundary is basically opening up the doors for the ones willing to respect that boundary. And what happens? That door stays open. As long as people respect your boundary and you respect your own boundary, they are free to come in and get out as long as they want.
exactly.
But that doesn't happen if we don't communicate it, because then this is not a boundary, but it's really,
It's an expectation.
yeah, it's an expectation. And what happens with expectations?
They're never happened most of the time.
Yeah.
Because you don't tell it. You
Yeah.
don't say it out loud. You're just thinking and getting, maybe you're getting mad through the time. The energy level stacks up, but in a negative way. And then maybe when it happened, then it exploded and something happened, maybe a breakup, maybe you're getting really angry, you curse a lot or something. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Right. But when you communicate your boundaries, it's really a filter because you're not changing the behavior from other people.
Yeah.
You express your needs, but also
In the best
you
case scenario.
treat the other people with respect.
Yeah. And I'd say in the best case scenario, we communicate those boundaries in a loving and respectful way. In the worst case scenario, it's in a more angry, charged way. And why do I say this? Because when I first learned how to communicate my own boundaries, and I wasn't good at it, I would say I'm still not the best at it. I'm still learning every day. But at first, when I tried to communicate my boundaries, they were charged with my boundaries being overstepped many times before, and me not being able to express that boundary and knowing, fuck, the fault is on me, on myself, because it's not the other person's problem when they overstep my boundaries, when I cannot communicate them. So how can I really be angry or mad at someone else if that's my shit? That's totally my shit. But as soon as I communicate those boundaries, and at first it was really charged, it was like, so I got this boundary, it was overstepped, now I really am mad and angry, and I'm sorry that I'm mad and angry right now, but the only way I can communicate this boundary right now is by giving my best, and this is my best right now. But
Because it's already too late, right?
yeah, because it's already too late.
Exactly.
So what did I learn out of this? Communicate it before it gets to the point of being disappointed as fuck.
And how you do that? How you get aware of this before it's getting too late? Before it's too late. How you do that? How you
Well, do we speak about the boundaries that we worked out through the boundary book ourselves, and now we know what are our boundaries, or do we talk about the boundaries that we are not aware of yet? The
this
second one.
Yeah.
The second one. So, for me, it really is being aware of the feelings inside my body.
Feelings is a good point. Yeah.
Feelings. So, let's say I'm not aware about a certain boundary. You get into the loft and you just start to take things and put them somewhere else. And now when I want to get this specific thing and I know where I put it, you didn't tell me where you put it. It's like, where the fuck is it? I feel frustrated. I'm like, huh? Did I lose it? So I start to search through the loft, but at the same time I have this feeling of discomfort inside myself. And then I have to ask myself, what happened? Why do I feel discomfortable? What is this where is this discomfort coming from? Now when you are in this room in this example, I could ask you, hey, do you know where this specific thing is? And if you would tell me, yes, I know, then this would be the moment to communicate the boundary, because I already feel discomfortable, because maybe I was already wasting 5 to 10 minutes of my time searching through the whole loft, like being frustrated. Where the fuck did I put it? Why can't I find it? And after 10 minutes I'm already charged. Do you know where this is? And you're like, yeah, I know, I just used it, I put it there. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did you put it there, man? You can use all of my stuff, but at least put it back wherever you take it. Took it from. So that would be a point where it would already be too late to communicate it in a super respectful and friendly way for me. So the thing I do is show compassion, because it happened the first time. If it was the first time, it's all right, it's all okay, because no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. I have my edges, I have my shadows, and I love myself the way I am. And now you'd tell me, hey, I used it, I put it there. I was like, hey, it's okay, but the next time you use it, you can always use my stuff. I would now communicate my boundary. Please put it back where you picked it up, because when I am searching something inside my own loft, I know where I put my stuff. Now, if I can't find it there, I start to question myself. Did I put it somewhere else? Have I forgotten about it? Did I lose it? And this is what makes me mad. Like questioning myself instead of communicating it directly. But why is it like that? Because I would never think of it at first that someone else took it and put it somewhere else without communicating. So this is where I find how to be aware of my boundaries and what to communicate. So in that specific case, my boundaries would be, hey, you can always use my stuff, but if you do, tell me, and then put it back to the place where you took it from. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
And if not, you don't use my stuff anymore.
Exactly.
That's the consequence, I'd say.
Yeah. Would you say this moment when you realize that your laptop, or what you say, not even at the place where you search it, where you thought it was, would you say it's like a feeling of overwhelming in this moment, or after the moment when you're getting frustrated or something? Where is it? Who the fuck took it?
Yeah,
Is
why
it like
didn't he or she communicate
exactly
to me?
Exactly. So it's getting like a little bit overwhelming, maybe.
It's not overwhelming. It's just, for me, it's disrespecting.
Okay.
So the feeling I got inside my body, because respect is one of my most valuable
Values.
valuable values, is respect. And if someone isn't communicating to me what he uses from the stuff that I openly share with my friends and my family, this is disrespecting for me. And so I'm like, I feel disrespected, man. I'm sharing all that I got freely with all of my families and friends. But the least thing I expect, I'm getting mad at myself for using that word. The least thing would be to at least communicate it. And why is that so? Because for me, that's totally normal. If I would use something from you, the first thing I would do, and that's just the way I grew up, that's just the way I teached myself. I would ask you, hey, is it okay for you if I would use your laptop right now because I don't have mine here? Is that okay for you?
Yes.
Cool. And just to be clear and to respect your boundaries. When I take it from here, would it be important for you to place it back there, or should I put it on the charge? How can I best give it back to you to feel respected? It's because I value respectful people. And so this is the way that I would ask you to use something that I have forgotten at home, obviously, in that moment. And if you then agree and say, okay, it's okay to put the laptop back on this table or put it back on charge, I'd be like, I'll happily do that because I'm so grateful that I can use your laptop because I forgot mine.
Yes.
And now, how does that make you feel?
Yeah. Better. Accepted.
Yeah. You accept it, and now we have a much more respectful and friendly friendship.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And a friendly friendship and valuable value. Okay. Can I throw this question back to you? How is it with you? So let's say there is a value or no a boundary you aren't aware about yet. How do you find out, and how do you get to the point of defining your boundary and then also communicating it?
I would say 20 years of my life, I just got overwhelmed in a really extreme way. So my emotions would like waves cross in me exactly like this because I can't named it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what were these emotions, where they came from, because I really loved it to people pleasing. I was really into it because I grew up in my childhood. There was few situations where this coming from. I don't know where it come from.
We could talk about it because I know.
Of course. And that's the first emotion is overwhelming.
Okay.
So I get aware of a boundary when it's getting crossed, when I got overwhelmed. So I first have to, replace this overwhelming with the specific emotion, and then look at the situation where it came from.
Okay.
And because of this, and then I can define the boundary and talk to the person which crossed the boundary.
Okay.
So it's now it's really the process that I just told, but before it was just overwhelming. It was just really stacking my emotions, and then sometimes it just everything breaks, and then something happens that I had to change my behavior. So it getting that worse, it didn't get a second option or something, so I had to change. But now I have this process because we work together, because I got more aware of my boundaries. I still work on it every day. I use our workbook, I use also other workbooks, I use just reflection. I really into this right now. So every time I feel overwhelmed, I just get aware in a faster way, and this every time more.
It stacks up.
Exactly.
You grow much faster.
Exactly.
Bigger, man, as a personality.
Until the moment comes, it's just a question of minutes.
Yeah.
When the emotion comes, the situation comes, the trigger comes, and then I'm aware, I can communicate, so I'm clear.
Wow.
That's for me, boundaries is a real thing of massive self-respect.
Yeah, same.
Massive, because when you don't communicate it, when you aren't aware of it, everybody plays with you.
Yeah, man.
You're like a fucking toy.
Yeah.
For real.
Toy, man.
Somebody asks you, you go, oh yes, please, can I help you?
Yeah. And why is that so? Now let's talk about this, because I think for the people that listen, this is gonna be really interesting. So since the age of 10 in my life here, I really have to say it like that, I was starting to study psychology because I really wanted to understand and to get why do people do the stuff that they do.
Exactly.
And
I love psychology.
Wow, me too. And just from the psychological standpoint of our personal growth, since we started working out our own boundary workbook, the boundary book, until today, what a massive growth. Personally, I started 21 years ago, and one of the biggest growth phases in my life was basically when we started on this workbook 8 months ago. And at that point, I was already, you knew me already, right?
Yeah.
I'm really happy with myself. Okay, it's not that I wasn't happy with myself at this point. It's just the way how to communicate and to protect my own energy, to respect myself, and also respect my own boundaries. I am much more productive. The way I communicate is on a whole other level. But the people pleasing part, why do we do that? It's because what is the wish of every child? It wants to be loved.
Exactly.
It wants to be loved from the mother. And what does it want from the father? He or she wants to be respected. So love and respect, the feminine and the masculine, basically. And when we do people pleasing, all we actually want is the love of others, because we cannot give this love ourselves to ourselves yet. And it's the same with respect. Now, if we grew up without a father figure, in my case, I grew up without a father figure, the whole boundary topic, man, I never really had access to it in a healthy way.
Same.
So I never really learned how to give myself the respect. So instead, because I always wanted to be respected, when someone asked me for help, yes, how can I help you? Because
same.
because then it gave me the feeling of being respected. And when a woman asked me, hey, can you help me? I was like, yes. And why was that? Because then I felt loved. So basically, I was just trying to gain the feeling of love and the feeling of being respected from the outside, because I
From the outside, exactly.
have never learned how to give it myself. Right now, I'm 31 years young. I love myself and I respect myself enough now to really work on my awareness about my personal boundaries, of communicating them, because this is how I can love myself. This is how I can respect myself. And when I do that, what am I? I am a living example. And people that watch me, that observe me, they are like, damn, this is a person with integrity. This is a person I could look up to. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to be a person that you look up to, because then that means we are not on an eye-to-eye level. Because for me, respect starts when we look at each other from an eye-to-eye level.
But you still can be yourself.
Yeah.
And not like people pleaser.
Yeah. So I will not be the people pleaser anymore again. I still love to help, but only when I get the capacity and the energy for it. Yeah. And also the time. Because before that, I would give no fucks about my own time management. So I would use up all my energy that I would use up for my business normally. I would use it up on people that don't fucking pay my bills, that give no fucks about me in the moments I would be drowning. So how could that change? Only through respecting my own time, my own energy, through loving myself enough to become aware about my boundaries, communicating them, and now having the self-respect of, this is the plan I got, and I want to go through this plan. How can I do it? Only by respecting myself. And that's what boundaries are for me. So to wrap up this whole thing, for me, this whole podcast, for me, in my viewpoint, is this is one of the biggest life-changing topics I ever worked on in all of my life. And I wish everyone would know this from the age of 7 on. From the moment he goes to school, he should fucking learn this, because let's be honest, not everyone has a healthy relationship with his parents. Not everyone grows up with father and mother that are basically healed themselves, that respected themselves, that had enough self-love to really be a living example
And self-awareness.
and
right?
self-awareness.
Exactly.
So I wish, and that's one of our visions, right? We have a lot of visions now. One of our visions is to bring this topic into all of the places in the world. Because just imagine, just for 1 second, how this world can change into a better place. How everyone can be the master of his own life. And really, if he has a goal, he can reach it. Why? Because he respects himself enough. And he can also communicate it. Now that would change all of the world. I wish I would have learned that from the age of 7 on now. I cannot turn back the time.
Yeah.
But we can change this for the future. And that's an expectation that I put on myself now. Because for me, that's something that is really important to myself, to my heart. To leave this earth a better place like I came here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Know exactly what you mean.
That's my
I,
wrap up.
I feel that vision. Of course, really resonate with that.
Yeah.
We wrote it already down.
Yeah.
You will see, maybe.
Yeah, you will see. Man.
So, when I started to do the research, we're just at the beginning right now, but when I started for myself the research about boundaries, I was really interested in the way of neuroscience, what in a practical way, in a physical way, happens exactly when a boundary gets crossed.
Wow.
And I was really interested about it because what's really happening there?
Yeah.
Because when you're aware of it, maybe you can control it, right? And so when the boundary gets crossed and this overwhelming feeling hits, like I said before, this cortisol hits.
Stress hormone.
Exactly, the stress hormone, not the dopamine. It's the
yeah.
opposite, exactly. Then the amygdala, our fear center, our emotions, there hits the fight or flight reaction.
Or freeze.
Or freeze, exactly. So when our boundary gets crossed, we maybe get angry. Maybe we want to go away. It happens a lot to me. I really wanted to go
Run
away.
away.
When someone said something to me, I was like, no, that's horrible. I want to go. Or I just freeze.
Yeah.
So that's a thing of seconds, right? Or not even a
Not
second.
even milliseconds.
It happened and it's like, tack, and you like overwhelmed instantly.
Yeah.
So the thing is, there is neuroplasticity in there. So what does it mean? You can learn it.
Yeah.
You can learn it consciously, that this amygdala thing, your emotions not hits you like a bus, but just you have it for the second. When it
You are
happens, when
aware
it
of it.
hits, exactly, you're aware of it and then stops.
Yeah.
And the most
Significant.
helpful thing I've learned through this is you pause in this situation. Give yourself 5 to 10 seconds and feel or realize what's happening. Because when your prefrontal cortex here, your logical thinking, when this one hits, in this moment you realize, when this hits, you can think about your decision.
Awesome.
You're not do it automatically saying, yes, please, can I do it for you? You just consciously decide what you do next.
Yeah.
Even you say no, you say yes, could be, right? You decide what your next step is, aligned and true to your values, to your energy and time. And that's, like I said, on the neuroscience side, wow, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
This process, when you know that, and a lot of people in our world today think in a logical way,
Yeah.
and from this perspective, it's really fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
And you can learn that. Like I said, it's getting like a muscle. When you go in the gym and hit your biceps,
Oh.
it's getting bigger through the time, right? Under the right conditionings.
And it gets stronger.
Exactly.
It reacts faster.
Yeah, same, but like the boundaries.
Yeah,
It's
it's the same.
getting easier. We had a conversation a few weeks ago where you set your crap out from the situation you had of me, and I was like, okay, I want to listen to you because you're a really good friend of mine, and I will be an ear for you, right? But I felt it was too much.
Yeah.
I just felt it was
crossed the
too much.
boundary
Exactly,
at some
it
point.
crossed the boundary, and in this moment, I realized I did the connection in my brain. So we study and learning and do the work on this topic right now for months, right?
And
then,
we will till the end of our life, man.
exactly. And I did the connection right in, like I said, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I decide then consciously, hey, and I said to you, hey, can we change the topic? Because I really want to listen to you, but it's now getting overwhelming for me because the energy is really low and really
Yeah,
bad for me,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't want to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Point. Finish the sentence, and it was, and you were like,
And
wow, thank you.
Yeah, I was so grateful because in that moment you also snapped me out of that thought pattern, which basically grew into a train that just like had its own motion. The train was riding, and you that moment becoming aware of being overwhelmed, then communicating your boundaries in a really respectful way. I was like out of the train. Suddenly I was like, wow, thank you so much. You are right, man. This isn't even relevant anymore. Why am I even going further and
Really,
further and further?
It happens.
At that point, I was like, thank you so much for communicating that boundary with me, because now I also realized how it makes me feel when someone communicates his boundary with me, and how much respect and love in that moment actually grows between us. Because in that moment, I felt more connected to you than before.
Yeah,
It was like,
same
whoa!
way, same way, and also
Wow.
to myself.
Yeah.
And I felt that you are also more connected to yourself.
Yeah. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like clear boundaries. But at the same time, I was like, damn, thank you so much.
Yeah. In this moment, I also, for now, when other situations like this are coming, and they will come for sure, your life tests you all the time in each area. And when you set a boundary consciously, or you spoke, you said it out loud, life tests you anyway.
Yeah.
So for the next time when a situation comes, because that was one of my first situations or moments where I communicate my boundaries in a respectful way, like we've learned, we've worked on, and it was respected from the other person,
Yeah.
like from you in this situation. So I can use this situation in the future for myself
As a reference point.
as a reference point. Exactly, because
Wow.
it was not a situation, and I had this thinking about before that it's for the other person, it's like horrible and they're getting angry at me when I say something like this. But no, you was respected. You was like, hey, thank you for this, and I can use this situation for the future for myself. And it's like, wow, it's so fulfilling for myself.
Yeah, can I throw in something from
Yeah,
a
let's go.
neuroscience point? So basically, what happened was, in the neuroplasticity in our brain, a new connection was formed, a new wire was made. So whenever a new situation like that would happen again, now our brain, our memory, our subconscious, wherever it is, actually saved. Because science isn't sure if it's actually in the brain or in the body or around the body.
You
so
said
there's just
mind and
mind, body,
conscious
soul.
and subconscious, yeah.
Now let's just say there was a new street built, because I
Exactly.
always use this picture of, hey, look at the map of your country. There's the bigger streets that connects the bigger cities to each other, and basically this new connection is nothing else but a street that was built. So when we experience a situation like that again, it's like with the gym. You train your muscle, it gets stronger, it gets better, it reacts faster. It's the same like building a street. Now you have a direct way from A to B.
A neural pathway in your brain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's just so amazing. So for me, that's also a reference point, because it was just 3 days later that I had a similar situation, but I
okay.
was on the other side. And
Okay.
that I remembered, this really felt, this, I didn't feel comfortable at first telling someone, hey, you know what, actually, this topic doesn't really matter to me, and it just fills up my mind space, and I have no capacity for that right now. But then I remembered that situation with you and what it made with me when you communicated it with me. So that was my reference point where I was like, I can do this too. And now I communicated it. The other person was the same. It was like, I respect that. Thank you for telling me. Okay, let's change the topic. And I was like, what kind of sorcery is this? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the relationship just got better, man. And now we are talking about something that is interesting for both of us, that is fueling us both and not just like draining one way. So yeah, that's so amazing.
It's crazy.
I'm so amazed about this topic.
It's really crazy. So Did you saw already? It's a clip or a video from when a neural pathway getting
Yeah.
built. Did you
Yeah.
saw it already?
Yeah, yeah,
It's really interesting. It's like you said, like 2 points.
E.T. will nach Hause telefonieren.
Yes.
E.T. wants to call home. It's basically like that. It's like, oh, there's a connection being formed. Now we can call home. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's just a
And the
picture that comes
more
to my
you
mind.
use this, the bigger it gets.
Yeah.
The bigger it gets.
Yeah.
It's like you said with the streetways in
Yeah.
the countries. The bigger streets are bigger
Yeah.
and more
Faster,
cars
more efficient.
are on it. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. True that. True that. So, what would you say for a last sentence or a last thought on this topic? What boundaries really are for
Cool.
the person who's listening or person who's watching us? What would you give them as an advice? Maybe as an action step from yourself?
Great. I just have one sentence that just comes right now. A boundary that you define, that you become aware about, is a yes to yourself. That's it.
I don't have to add on something really.
That's really,
It's
I
a-
could say yes. It's much more self-respect. It's treating your energy. No, it's really a yes to yourself. And in that moment, it also allows the other self to give a yes to himself too.
Yes, exactly. Wow,
Wow.
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 So, wow, it's really great. I love this. I love this topic.
Yeah,
I
man,
swear.
I'm looking so forward to every future podcast
So
episode.
great, so great. So for the person who's listening and for the person who's watching, I have one. I wrote it down. Okay, I
Yeah,
have
just,
to read.
just read it aloud. We're
Exactly.
still at the beginning.
Yes.
We don't have to be
Yes.
the
So
pro.
one small action step for you guys out there: take 10 minutes today to journal about one area of your life where you feel drained or resentful. So that's where your boundaries need attention. Because when you get this feeling or when you're feeling overwhelmed in some area of your life, then your boundary is crossed, like I said before. So you have to journal about it, you have to be aware of it, and then share your insights. Share it with a body from you or with your colleague, or share it with us. Share it with us or so on social media and tag us on hashtag the boundary book. Do we
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'd love to
Come
do
on,
that.
we do that.
I'd love to hear your experiences. So I'm really looking forward to all of your stories and how you can grow too, because I just saw how immensely we grow
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
And the area that is around us, they all profit from that, and we just want to see everyone grow and become more aware. So say yes to yourself.
Exactly. And when you are ready to take your boundary game on the next step, okay, download the boundary book.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's $9.99 in our shop. You can get it, you can download it, and you can work on it to really master your boundaries. So your energy getting improved.
Yeah.
You're really aware of your time
Yeah.
and your values, and you respect yourself more. So when you're ready for that, click on the link down below in the description and download the boundary book. Any last words from you?
No, I'm just looking forward to all the people that are rising out of the ashes like a
Yeah,
phoenix.
Exactly.
Because that's what it feels like for me.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for
and
listening,
girls.
guys. We see and hear us the next time. Bye.
Ciao! Ciao for now!
Geil.
Geil, geil. Wow. So einfach, man.